Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
Sports bettors, are you ready? Are you ready for a faster way to win? When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards. Experience this premium sportsbook for yourself and sign up with code BETSWEATS, BETSWEATS, to get $100 in free bets when you deposit $20. Must be present in New Jersey, Indiana, Iowa, or Illinois. Must be 21 or older. Additional T's and C's apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER if in New Jersey and Illinois, 1-800-9-WITH-IT if in Indiana, 1-800-BETS-OFF if in Iowa.
Yeah, we got a busy hour here. This headline's brought to you by Everything Checking from Dollar Bank. Open your account now at dollar.bank/300. The Steelers have signed pass rusher Melvin Ingram to a one-year deal. And Craig just got in my ear and said the Pirates DFA'd Kyle Crick moments ago. Was he that bad?
No.
What do you think that could be about?
His ERA's jumped lately after a couple bad appearances, but for the first half of the year, he and Richard Rodriguez were untouchable together.
Right. That's an interesting one. Jeff Hathorn, you can find him at 937thefan.com. So we've got some breaking news here, Jeff. Let's start with Melvin Ingram, your reaction to the Steelers. This is something they almost never do, Jeff, and that's bringing in a free agent in his 30s with no prior Steelers experience. They'll bring their own back, but they almost never sign a guy in his 30s who has no experience with the team.
Or occasionally they'll pick somebody up after all the rosters have been trimmed. They'll take a run on a guy. But, yeah, you're right. But what they did was they did address a need for depth. I mean, you're looking at Tigray Scales and Cassius Marsh and Quincy Roche as guys that were going to be backups to those two. And, you can't have Watt on the field every play as much as you think you can. You can't.
Maybe he needs to switch from Gatorade to Pedialyte like me so he doesn't tap himself out of the second half of playoff games.
That would be good.
How about that?
That would be good. But Ingram brings, if he's healthy, and can stay on the field. But I think that's what's good about this. You're not bringing Ingram in to necessarily be a starter or be even a 50% of snap guy. You're bringing him in to spell guys, or if he gets hot, maybe he can at least split time with Highsmith, if not take more.
Man, I don't know about the backup role part of this because I would think, given the fact that there were other teams interested, like the Chiefs and Dolphins, reportedly, that he would not come here unless he thought he had a very good chance of earning a lot of playing time, because he's probably thinking, Jeff, I've been injured, people are down on me, I go have a big year in Pittsburgh, I go right back into free agency, and I make big money next year.
Well, I think he not only studies the situation and say, hey, here's a second-year player who's a third-round pick that no one's ever heard of, that's going to be the starter on the other side, to T.J. Watt. Mm-hmm. And how much attention is he going to grab in a defensive style that allows for freedom for sacks? I mean, I think it's a really good setup for him, and he goes into whatever this contract ends up being, and I haven't seen a dollar amount.
Me neither.
But whatever the cost of this is, he does set himself up to when the salary caps jump, that if he can get 5, 6, 7, 10 sacks, he's going to have a nice payday to finish out his career.
How about this nugget? Pro Football Focus had Melvin Ingram graded out better than Bud Dupree last year.
Well,
and Ingram had no sacks, Craig.
Yeah.
Didn't have one.
Come on. I mean, I think sometimes
Holy
you can
cow.
overanalyze these things. I mean, the proof was on the field. When Watt and Dupree were together, they were dynamic. And, yeah, Ingram may have affected games in other ways, but the proof is there with no sacks.
Well, that's why I have to be you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth with the Steelers defense. If one of the reasons why they, stumbled late in the year is because Dupree was out of the lineup, you can't then say that he was irrelevant or overrated. But at the same time, though, Jeff, you have to realize or acknowledge, too, Alex Highsmith was the guy who was filling in there and wasn't playing as well as Dupree. So, was Highsmith just going to make this huge leap from year one to year two? Maybe. But that's a tough thing to bank on, even with Watt playing on the other side of him.
Look how many years it took Dupree to get it.
Exactly. Look how many years it took Melvin Ingram to get it in L.A.
And Dupree was a first-round pick with pedigree and a great athlete, and it took him a while to get it. To think that it's just going to click for Highsmith. Now, it'll be easier for him because, again, of all the attention to Watt, that he should see, lesser attention on his side of the ball, which is going to allow him opportunities. But, no, it's not going to be easy. And I do think Bud Dupree, I know fans really got on him because of his first 3 years. But if you wipe those first 3 years out, to say that, the losing of Bud Dupree is not a big deal is a lie.
Do you think that now this makes the David DeCastro loss easier to get over? Because you've replaced DeCastro with Ingram and Turner?
Depending on how Turner does, yes.
He just got ripped to shreds by the Chargers broadcaster
really?
at 3. Oh, my God. What did he say again, Craig? What was the quote from Matt Money Smith on Turner?
I don't know. Just to me, sounded like he sucks.
Hold on. This is a guy that called their games last year. When he was healthy in 2020, he was absolutely terrible.
When he was healthy.
He was
terrible.
Yep.
Oh.
Do you think the Steelers are done? Or do you think they might have another move looking at a big camp casualty, somebody who gets cut before the start of the season, maybe a trade like they've done close to the start of the season?
I believe Kevin Colbert when he says he's always checking out the waiver wire.
But are there still needs, Jeff, that need addressed?
I look at corner as a place where if I could find somebody that has an intriguing story, maybe didn't fit on his initial team for whatever reason, that's a position I might look at. And maybe I wouldn't be done kind of scouring and seeing what's available for a backup tight end. I think
you banged that drum at tight end, even with Ebron and Freiermuth. You've said that a few times, Jeff.
Yeah, I would love to see a third experienced guy that can play special teams, and it might bring something in a blocking situation where you could put him out there and know that you could run behind that guy.
Do you think the Steelers' defense is light years ahead of the Steelers' offense right now going into camp on Wednesday?
I don't know about light years, but ahead, yes, absolutely, and they should be, because look at how many resources they put into that defense. Mm-hmm. Practically every first-round pick, it seems, has gone into that defense, with the exception of last year. So, yeah, they should be better because they've been building that defense for years.
Insider for us over at 937thefan.com, Jeff Hathorn with us. Ray Fittipaldo from the Post-Gazette wrote this today. Jeff, I want to get your reaction to it. Said the Steelers won't commit to the run like the Browns or the Titans as long as Big Ben is the quarterback.
Commit is a word I could take and say, okay, what does commit mean? Does commit mean running it 25 times? Does commit mean running it 40 times? What's the level of commitment that he's discussing? Yeah, they think that Roethlisberger is a guy that can still carry the team. And I think more than this, I think they still believe, and they're right, that wide receiver is their deepest, most dangerous position as far as offensive weapons. So why not try to get them the ball? So I do think they'll run it more, but I also think they want to get it in the hands of their best playmakers, and their best playmakers are still on the outside.
So you would put those wide receivers ahead of Najee?
Yes, as far as
playmaker.
As far as a group.
No, just you'd rather have the ball in, say, Claypool's hands than
right
a
now.
Rookie's.
I might feel different in Week 9.
Uh-huh.
If he has a great season, but right now, I want Deontay, Juju, Claypool, even Ebron at times to have opportunities to make plays with the football. That's not anything against Najee, but what have they shown in a running game over the last couple of years?
We just got a text into the show that said, I wonder if Cassius Marsh is going to go do a podcast where he says that he doesn't have fun in Pittsburgh now.
Hey, you know what the thing is? Here's an opportunity for him to go win a spot. It's right there. Go win it.
Yeah.
You know?
I just don't think he's very good, and I hate when guys – that's like when Anthony Smith called out the undefeated Patriots. Why? Why would you – I know that you played there you had a cup of coffee. Why would you want to poke a bear right now? Seriously. You're not that good. You're buried on a depth chart. You might get cut. It's not out of the question that he fails to make the team.
Because you're dealing with athletes that all the way up until now have been told how great they are.
Yeah, but he's been cut 5 or 6 times in his career,
No.
Jeff, so he's been humbled, Cassius Marsh.
You would think, but apparently not.
Do you have anything for us on Kyle Crick getting DFA'd?
So Craigers and I were talking about this off the air. I will say this for Kyle Crick. He is not beloved in that room.
What's that? Say that again?
He was not beloved in that room.
Okay.
So whatever role that may have played, and I'm guessing if things are equal and you're deciding on who to DFA and you look at his last month of work and the fact that he has struggled finding the plate, what's so confounding about him is he's got a wipeout slider, but if he can't find the plate, what good is it? You know, he needs to get ahead in counts, and when he does, he's really good. But for the last month, he is not. And, I mean, I get it. They've had him for a couple of years. They've seen him for a long time. And he might be a guy that just falls through, this process and ends up back at AAA.
If the Steelers go 9-8, make the playoffs, and keep the tradition of never having a losing season under Tomlin and Big Ben going in 2021, does that constitute a good Steelers season, Jeff? Against the number 1 schedule in the NFL this year, the toughest.
Yeah, that's a very interesting caveat. No, because what they're judged on is playoff success. Mm-hmm. And I would say anything short of at least getting to the AFC Championship game, is that with a Hall of Fame quarterback and the changes that you made and the expectations that this franchise has, I think anything short of that is not a successful season.
What was last year then?
Last year was a great start and then ultimately a failure of a season, in my opinion, because you lost at home to a rival team and were just horrible down the stretch.
Rank the AFC North teams for me right now as you see them heading into training camp this week.
It's tight.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincy.
Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincy. Craig?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincy.
Wow.
I've already placed that bet as well, so I have put my money where my mouth is.
And that was before the Melvin Ingram signing.
Correct. I bet I get better or worse odds now. The odds I got before are probably looking good.
This year, more than any other, one injury can flip 1-3 or 3-1.
Uh-huh.
It's that tight, I think, between those 3 teams.
See, I think, and I hesitate to say this because they're not a team I would ever – I'm not to the point where I trust them yet, even exercising so many demons last year. But I think on paper, Cleveland is by far the best team in the division. I don't really see on paper a weakness, but I do think there's a chance that with a target on them and a bullseye on their back, they feel that pressure and they blow up and self-combust because of it. Especially the quarterback, and with Odell Beckham Jr. there, I think that makes it even more of a touchy situation for them.
Either hardens the Browns or collapses the Browns. And I thought that, I agree with you. I thought they took some steps, as painful as it is to see, because I enjoyed their years of futility.
Mm-hmm.
They have great talent, and they seem to have a good coaching staff. And
the wild card will be, how bad is Cincinnati? Are they a team that you can count on for 2 wins? The Steelers thought they could count on beating them twice last year, right, and didn't. They lost to Ryan Finley in December. But are they a team that is at least competitive, where you have to work to beat them twice? You can't just bank on 2 wins against them.
Their issue is kind of like the Steelers. It's the offensive line.
Yep.
And they've added some weapons for Burrow, but will he have time to get it to him? If he does, they're an intriguing team.
All right, Jeff. So what's going to be your schedule now? What are they allowing you to do? Is there going to be like the big report day like there would be in Latrobe for these guys on Wednesday?
No. There's going to be some practices on the south side that are going to be closed, with the exception of a media member per outlet being able to go.
And that would start on Thursday then, or when they show up on Wednesday?
Thursday. Starts Thursday. So there's no big, that first day of reporting and, guys driving up in Lamborghinis to camp or in a bulldozer to camp. There's going to be none of that. No interviews with guys as they walk into the room. It'll just be starting on Thursday. We'll get whoever we get.
Jeff Hathorn, read all about it at 937thefan.com, and stay tuned for his visits on The Fan, including, I think Wednesday, Craig, we're going to have Jeff in here with me for 4 hours.
I like the sounds of that.
Now, Chris brought me Pedialyte today as an olive branch, so now that you're going to have to exceed that, Jeff. He just...
White Claw?
Wow. Now you're speaking my language. Bye, Jeff.
See you guys.
Man, a man after my own heart. Through my liver, no less. I don't know why I like White Claw so much. We went to, Craig, we went to Mike's Beer Bar after the game because my mom wanted to get one of those Mike's. No, we went to North Shore Tavern. We went to he owns both, Mike.
Stone's throw away from PNC
Well,
Park.
my mom wanted to go to North Shore Tavern after the game Sunday because she wanted to get they have shirts there that promote North Shore Tavern that say, get stoned on the back. With the hot stone for the steak on a stone.
Given everything you've told us about your mom,
and my mom really
wanted
wanted a Get Stoned t-shirt. So we went over there, and they've got a great beer menu. All kinds of local beers. Mike drives around Western Pennsylvania looking for local beers. They've got a ton on tap in cans and bottles. And we get there after the game, after, Conforto, walk-off, etc. Not walk-off, but ninth inning dramatic home run. I'm in a good mood now. What do I want to drink? You want something? White Claw. I'll take a black cherry White Claw. And Amanda rolled her eyes at me.
Why?
I think that there's still a stigma that when you do that in a public place, it's a scarlet letter.
Shouldn't she
that
appreciate?
It's a shot. I'm comfortable.
Yes.
She doesn't like when I'm comfortable being me.
Why do you have to be anybody but you at this point? Why fake?
She got mad that I wore a button down once with tennis shorts. And I wore these tennis shorts to play in the softball game on Saturday, and I ripped them down the side. That there was like a little, not knob, but one of the holes that you put a lace through a glove in to tighten it.
Yeah.
And that metal from where you put the lace through rubbed against my shorts and ripped it down the side. And she was ecstatic that I ruined those shorts because those had become shorts during quarantine that got worn for all occasions. Formal, casual, morning, noon, night, didn't matter. Dress shirt, golf shirt, t-shirt, no shirt.
They're versatile.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
that? And
that?
I said, I'd love for you to go out and buy me a replacement pair. And she said a word that I can't repeat on the air.
The ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz are some of the most iconic objects in Hollywood history. And in the summer of 2005, a pair was stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in the small town of Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
All she said was, "They're gone. They're gone."
Welcome to No Place Like Home, a documentary podcast series that investigates the mysterious heist of the ruby slippers. Please listen and follow No Place Like Home, a presentation of C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio, available now on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.